Everybody's having a beautiful day. First thing we want to do is give a shout out to everybody that dropped a comment before the show started. Shout out to Darkwing. We got Darkwing up in the house tonight. Shout out to Nick the Slick. He rejoined Frost Army's part of the green team. Definitely. You got to go get your merch now, fam. What merch do I have pinned today? If you want to go look and see what merch we have pinned, that you could go to our store. We have our BBN Trucking merch series 1 mug. You could go get your mug. It's gonna have the whole handle. This is just my favorite mug, fam. It's gonna have the whole handle, and you could go cop your mug. Shout out to Art of D Glass. Very happy to see all of you brothers up in here this morning. Art of D Glasses. Good morning, BBN family. Blessings to all frosts. Let's go. Shout out to Dark when he says salute to Dark Art. Top of the morning, top of the top, fam. All right, let's get to it. I wanted to have an open discussion today. I've noticed that the subject matter that's currently inside of the our algorithms or whatever the case might be, what we're paying attention to right now varies. It varies by a lot. So there's a lot of things to discuss. So I didn't want to just only discuss one thing. One thing that I know we're going to discuss today is the YNW Melly situation. And I also want to discuss the situation that's going on with Biden and these other politicians. I want to talk about that for a moment. Also involving Biden, there's another situation that we should also just, gloss over, discuss, or I want to know what you guys' opinion on that is because often inside of what we do over here is we cover court cases. So we always want to pay attention anytime there's a court case that happened that might weigh in on something that happens inside of our community or happens to our community. And currently, Joe Biden's son, what the heck is that guy's name? John Biden? I have no idea. Joe Biden's son apparently is just got he had charges that was against him. It seems like the government was ready to let him off really, really easy, give him the type of deal that they don't necessarily give us. So I would like to also discuss that. Also, they didn't end up giving him the deal, by the way, because he turned it down. Hunter Biden, shout out to that. Shout out to Everything Blue. Appreciate you. So I would like to at some point discuss that. Discuss the thing that happened with Mitch McConnell when he just had a moment. And I would like to discuss the whole Biden and how he has so often during his speeches said some insane things. And there's people that still think that we should vote for him again. And he's giving speeches that are just, what in the hell are you talking about, fam? Do you need your Metamucil? Like, what's going on? With that being said, let's do roll call right now and get to the show. Okay, so this is, let me get these pillows right here. I'm gonna put them behind me if y'all don't mind. We could talk about the that situation. Also, how they had the was he a general or retired general or something like that? And he went up there and said that the government has foreign or alien bodies and alien spacecrafts. We could also talk about that. Put that in the chat at any point. This is open discussion. Whatever y'all want to discuss, as long as it does not involve my personal life, put it in the chat. With that being said, I want to add something to the monologue. We're going to do roll call at the 7-minute mark. Get your comments in right now. Also hit that like button. I want to add something to the monologue. So something happened yesterday, and it made me start thinking about something. People should be attempting to teach their children how to make friends. So I'm going to tell you about a situation that happened yesterday. So one of the young kids that I work with, play basketball with, or however you want to put it, I'm hearing all of the kids in the commotion. So the kids are over there in the commotion. A whole bunch of kids that I do not know. They're playing over there by themselves. I'm working with I'm working with the Wonder Twins actually on this side of the court. At some point, I keep hearing about how one kid could have possibly slapped another kid, but it's kid stuff. They didn't bring it to an adult yet. Nobody's over there acting too wild. You let the kids handle it. At some point, Shorty comes over to me, the kid that I work with, that I be with out there. One of the main kids that I be working with every day, actually. He comes over to me and tells me that he slapped some new kid to the park. I don't know. So I'm like, yo, why would you be slapping him? You got to keep your hands to yourself. And I start explaining. So then he tells me basically, and he has other kids confirm that kid was basically roughhousing with the other kids, and they did not like it, and they did not want it, and he wouldn't stop. Then he roughhoused with him, and he slapped him because he wouldn't stop. So I told Lil Homie, call your pops, let your pops know what you just did or whatever. That, you know, this is a parent matter or whatever the case is. So he called his pops. Then after all of that was over, he started trying to explain to me why he did that. I explained something to him. I said, you know what? That little dude probably don't know how to make friends. He probably didn't mean anything by it. Because I can't sit there and explain to him that he might come from a household of people who are antisocial. He might come from an antisocial household. Maybe the way in their household that he sees the adults or the other people bond with one another is through physical violence. Maybe that's what he considers playing. Maybe he doesn't have the decorum to come outside and read the room. You understand? So I'm saying all that, and I wanted to make sure I said this today. Make sure that we teach our kids how to make friends. I think that that's very important. A lot of kids just don't know how to make friends. With that being said, let's get to the show. What do y'all want to start off with? Put it in the chat. Let's do roll call real quick. Well, I shouted out everybody that's already in the room, basically. Let's do roll call real quick. Let's get to the show. What do y'all like to start at? Since I wait for one of you guys to comment, but until then, I guess I'll start off with the YNW Melly matter. So just so we can be clear, they're going to be retrying YNW Melly. There's no reason in the world why they wouldn't, just so we can be clear. They have a obligation to solve all cases, especially murder cases and things as such. And as them being saying, the government, this is the prosecutor's office, the DA, saying that they have the individual that they 100% believe did it. They're saying that the evidence actually says that, proves that he did it. But since they're not able to use all of the evidence to the jury, this is why they're probably trying to say that the jury wasn't able to come to the conclusion that they wanted them to. With that being said, I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to get some of the evidence in that was excluded previously, but there's no reason to add said evidence if you don't also have the context, being able to recontextualize the evidence. Because if you bring the evidence the same exact way, it should still not be allowed. For the people that said a different judge will probably allow it in, okay, but you're still going to be able to have an argument in front of that judge on why he shouldn't allow it in. And the same arguments that went to the first judge might win with the second judge. And even so, the fact that the first judge didn't allow said evidence, that might be even more of a reason for the second judge to not allow said evidence. You understand? So with that being said, they have to figure out a way, this being the prosecution, but they have to figure out a way to either try to get the people that was going to give testimony that decided that they were not going to give testimony to change their minds and give testimony so all of the evidence could be allowed in. One of the main things that they're trying to say as far as the trajectory of the bullets, whether people got it or not, they're saying that the person that the government, the person that the defense might try to say actually did it, wouldn't be shooting from the angle that these bullets actually came from. That's why them being able to go to the actual crime scene and then try to show them the trajectory physically while they're there, they would have been able to do that. But the judge said no, because most of the time you don't even allow for people to go to crime scenes in the first place. This is not fucking part of my language. But this isn't Perry Mason, fam. For everybody that has not watched Perry Mason it's called Max now. It was HBO Max previously. For everyone that has not watched Perry Mason, I tell you right now, watch Perry Mason. Watch it from the first season all the way through. Obviously, I'm not saying binge it. I'm saying just don't skip any episodes. It's incredible and it's great. And I think it's one of the better shows. It's a slow burn. It's not a very, very fast moving chronicle. So if you need instant gratification, this might not be the thing for you. But if you can are the individual that can stave off gratification for quality, then this is 100% something that you want to watch. With that being said, this is not Perry Mason, fam. They don't just bring the jury to the freaking crime scene. Like, you have to have so many things supporting the reason to go to a crime scene. You understand? And being as they didn't allow in the other evidence that would allow for them to be able to say, we believe it's YNW Melly for this reason, that reason, and that reason. What would make you think that they would allow for the jury to leave the whole courtroom and go all the way down to the crime scene, which would just be the vehicle? So I'm guessing they could have brought the vehicle to the building. So it's not like they, but I don't know. Maybe they wanted to bring the all the way to the spot where the shit happened. That's what I'm assuming also. And a point that bringing them to the spot might be trying to make, I'm not 100% clear about this, is there's no reason for them to have been there in the first place unless they was trying to do something lascivious. If they was, unless they was trying to do something wrong, there was no reason for them to be in that particular area. There's no reason for them to have been driving through there unless they was trying to conceal something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Also, they might have been trying to prove, just so we could be clear, just just to be talk about it from both sides so we can look at both angles. They might have been trying to prove that there isn't even a possibility for there to be a drive-by in that specific area. Like, there's no reason for another vehicle to be driving past you. This is a secluded area. It's surprising that one car would be there, nevertheless, two at the same time. So there's probably a couple of arguments that they wanted to make and they were not able to make, but they probably would have been able to make if they would have been able to bring the jury to the crime scene. Although the only reason why I think they wanted to bring the jury to the crime scene for the most reason is for them to be able to look at the trajectory of the bullets inside of the vehicle so they could say that these weapons were fired from a person of small stature. And by saying that, you're saying that it couldn't have been this person, it couldn't have been that person, it couldn't have been that person. You understand? So that's what I believe the idea might be. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so they're going to have a new trial. Unless they could figure out a way to recontextualize some of the evidence that they already have so they could allow other evidence in, or unless they're able to find new evidence or have one of the witnesses to flip, I don't see why anything different should happen. Personally, they were losing 9-3. That's not close, fam. You know that saying, you only need one, where they had 9. Think about that for a moment. You know what the politicians is looking back and thinking about that. All of the politicians that were screaming for him to get the capital punishment, they're looking back thinking about that. Oh shit, should I stay pushing this particular thing or should I just act like I wasn't in the room? So my words could still stand for the people that support it, but for the people that don't support it, it doesn't look like I'm yelling from the top of the buildings anymore. Many politicians actually do this often when they're caught in the wrong on something, not directly, but indirectly. So that's actually a political move. So I would assume that would be the best position for some of those politicians right now in Florida to take, and just allow for the criminal justice system to do what they're going to do. Because 9-12 means that if you keep pushing this is a chance that you might lose votes. Politicians is trying to get votes over everything, fam. 9-3 mean they might lose votes. If I was a campaign manager, I would say this is not a topic we want to speak on right now. Let's see what they do in the court system. Let's see if they can fix this shit. We don't want to speak on this. We want to get as far away from this as possible. But we're not going to speak on it because we got a lot of support when we spoke on it. We don't want to lose that support. We might not be able to get those other people no matter what we do. We might can, but we might not be able to. So let's not do any more damage and step back and let other people do damage so people could forget about us. Shout out to Shakar SP. He says, BBN, salute, salute. I should have called you when I saw you. I thought I did. Shout out to the few. He says, salute, Fro, salute. Put it in the comment section. What do you think about that? Also, so I keep hearing people say, remember when, okay, hold on. So remember before the defense actually pled their case, and people kept coming to asking in the chat, what do I think the defense should do? And I said the defense only job is to discredit the prosecution's case. That's the only job that they have. You're not supposed to try to prove the guy innocent. You can't really do that. You understand what I'm saying? That's why lies work. You understand? That's why lies work, man. That's why with a lie, you got to sit around and you got to wait for people to actually realize that it was a lie. You know what I'm saying? Then when that happened, the person that was lying, they had kind of, you know, their whole reputation is destroyed. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you just got to sit around and wait for people to recognize about the lie. You can't disprove a lie, man. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying most lies that's told you can't really disprove. Remember, usually when a person tells a lie, they're setting you up. They know they're going to tell a lie. They're setting you up to make it look like the thing is really something that's happening. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to recognize and pay attention to that. With that being said, you're not supposed to disprove the case because you're already presumed innocent before guilty. So you're not supposed to go prove you didn't do it. You're just supposed to prove that the prosecution don't have a case. That's it. When they put that one wit, first of all, they proved that the prosecution already didn't have a case when the detective, the defective, took the stand. That 100% to me proved that the prosecution didn't have a case. When that man said that they put pressure on witnesses to talk, to me, he discredited their whole case. I don't know how anybody else felt. But if I'm on a jury and the defective, notice this guy's not a detective. There are detectives out there. Salute to you guys. But there's a ton of defectives. You guys get the thumbs down. So the defective, once that guy admits that they tried to put pressure on people to give testimony or to say things, everything that he collected, to me, can't be trusted. So now when you try to, if I'm on a jury and now you're trying to tell me that this guy collected this evidence and this guy collected that evidence, well, he also tried to force those other niggas to say some shit that they never said. So I need to see who else, what other evidence you got. I don't need to see any evidence that this guy has. Anything regarding this guy, I don't need to see it. Remember, we should hold our law enforcement to a higher standard for being honest. They're held to a higher standard, fam. If you're not holding law enforcement to a higher standard, if you're not holding politicians to a higher standard, if you are not holding our leaders to a higher standard, if you're not holding the people in authority to a higher standard, you're doing it wrong. Why else would we give people authority? Because they have integrity. People are giving people authority for all the wrong reasons. You give somebody authority over something due to their integrity to make sure that the thing is getting done. People put people in authority over positions because, you know what, I like that guy. I like the cut of his jib. That's how you get Hunter Biden. So we're going to see what happened in regard to that. They're trying to obviously get bail for him so he can fight it this time outside. He's in trouble for a double murder. The chances of him getting bail are slim, just to be honest with that. The only thing that I think might be in his favor is that the prosecution did so badly. The prosecution did terribly. So I think that there's arguments that his defense team could possibly make that can sway the judge. You've been holding my client forever. Let's say the vote really was 9-3. I'd say that. They couldn't even get half of the jury to agree with them. They have detectives on the case that have admitted that they tried to put pressure on witnesses in order to testify the way that they wanted them to. They can't put my client at the scene of the crime. They can't even find the murder weapon. They're going after my client because he's young and rich. Has he made mistakes? We've all made mistakes. I made a mistake just the other day. I wanted waffles and I got pancakes. I'm not going to make that joke. But you get the point. 1,500 for the jibs. What up, Toxic Avenger? What you mean by that? You trying to diss me, or you talking about because I just made the jibs joke? I like the cut of his jibs. I don't know which point. I don't know what that is. I'm leaving it alone though. I obviously don't care. So I think a good argument could be made by the defense counsel as to why he should get bail. I don't know if they're going to get bail. That's why the point that I'm trying to make is that the prosecution did such a terrible job. It's not like they almost had him. Nobody was convinced almost. Just saying. And I think it's going to be harder to get him the second time around unless you have more evidence or a witness changes their testimony. That's just my opinion. I think it's going to be harder. Because first of all, they got to select a jury. How are they going to find people that haven't heard of this case? Explain that shit to me. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to find a jury one way. They're going to go get migrants? They're going to go get migrants? Like, how are they going to go get people that don't already know about this case? Let me know. That's all I'm saying. So they have to somehow figure out how they going to get a jury together that don't all know about this particular case. Guess what? You know the people that wasn't watching the trial when it was happening? I bet you after he got that mistrial, they saw it in the news and now they know everything about the case. They gonna have to go to the old folks home, fam. How are they gonna get some people to be in the jury? They got to go to Arkham. Anyway, so somehow they're gonna figure out how to get people to be on the jury. Let's just, it's gonna happen one way or the other. How possible do you think these people that's going to be on the jury is it already going to have a propensity to be leaning in one direction or the other? How many of them do you think is going to be able to hide their bias? So the prosecution have a ton of hurdles to get over. A ton. Sheesh. Anything you guys think about this? We got 59 people, 61, 59 people in the room. Hit that like button. Let's send out some notifications. Mm-hmm. This shit is crazy. Mm-hmm. Somebody backing up? Probably backing up. No, can't be backing up. I don't hear no beeping. I'm nosy. Give me a second. Okay, it's not on my street in front of my house. Maybe it's a tree cutter. Might be a tree cutter that might be trimming some trees out there. Shout out to whoever's working out there. All right, let's get back to it. So I want to say something. I want to be clear. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Whenever they decide to actually happen this Freddie Gibbs, okay. Whenever they decide to have, whenever this new trial is going to be, uh, maybe this might be something that they're going to do. I don't know. Maybe they try to set it like quick. Remember, they got up to 90 days or whatever the case is to say that they want a new trial. They've done it already. Maybe their plan was to try to have a new trial before those 90 days is up, because there might be a better chance of him probably getting bail after those 90 days. That's basically what I've been thinking. So that might be the reason why they like immediately said, yo, no, we're going to do another trial. They told the people on the news immediately. They had a guy in the back typing it up. Almost done, boss. They had a guy in the back typing it up, so they could, while he was doing the press, the news interview. So I'm thinking, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong, obviously. This is just an opinion. So I'm thinking that one of the things that they wanted to do was get out the fact that they're going to have a new trial as quickly as possible, because then when they go in front of the judge, whenever the defense try to go in front of the judge, the prosecution could be like, yo, look, we already got everything underway. We would like, this is a double murder at the end of the day. We fear that if you let our client go, that some people might be injured on the outside that might be pivotal to this particular case. Could be as simple as that, man. Could be as simple as that. For real, for real. So no idea at all. Don't know if that was the plan or the idea, but there's ways to use case law, and there's ways to use the way the system generally works to your benefit. And usually it is going to err on the side of caution. So just like they have to protect the rights of the accused, they also have to protect the rights of the community. So, and the number one right that the government is supposed to protect of the community is actually the right to live. That's the number one right they're supposed to be protecting of us. So when they have these guys and they're locked up, this is why I'm trying to explain sometimes when I say, okay, so they have these guys locked up, so they're trying to go get them bail or some shit like this. This is why there's no way that they was gonna give Young Thug bail. He's not coming out. They holding him until whatever the trial is. Period. That's what it is. That's it. He got to beat this. I told y'all when he first got arrested, and the reason being is there is a because of the things that he's accused of. There's the court can make the assumption that him being free would allow his communications to create a hostile environment for others or cause pain, suffering, or hurt for others. So they're not going to let him go. So the thing that YNW Melly is accused of, they can't let him go. He's accused directly of a double murder. You understand? So the belief that him staying locked up, is saying that they're directly trying to prevent problems to the community. Directly. You understand what I'm saying? With Young Thug, that would be a communication that he would make to another person to make a thing happen. You understand? With YNW Melly, they don't have to worry about his communications creating a problem as much as as the government is saying they have to worry about him creating a problem. So I could 100% see them trying to make sure that any bail requests are going to be denied, and starting or saying that you're going to start or going through the steps to begin the process for a new trial should 100% do that. So, but if they would have waited 3 months, I think he would have been out. I think if it would have took more than 90 days, I think the government would have let him out. Because you can't just hold people indefinitely. That's against the law. They're not supposed to do that. Anything else anybody want to talk about this, or if there's any other subject that you want to talk about? I have no opinions about the guy that you put name in the chat, and I'm not even gonna say the person's name out loud, knowing that somebody might try to create a problem. I have no opinion on the person's name that you put in the chat, man. I have no opinion on the crimes that they committed. I have no opinion on what's gonna happen when I haven't looked at their case. I know what they're accused of. I believe they're accused of grooming a young girl or young girls or whatever the case is. Um, a specific situation happened with a young girl in a hotel room, apparently. Uh, Sometimes it's better just not to talk to people, fam. Because sometimes it's better just not to talk to people, fam. What dude? Okay, I know. I don't know where you're trying to take this conversation, fam, but I think I've humored you about enough this morning. You gotta have to go get another account if you keep it up. With that being said, anything else y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. I'm trying my hardest not to kick people, fam. I be trying my hardest, fam. Anything else y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. We only 31 minutes into the show. It's hot as hell. Oh man, the sun. Shout out to Ant. I'm saying that because I was playing basketball yesterday with Ant and his crew. Shout out to Ant. I was able to play like real basketball. I really appreciated that. I really appreciated that. I don't really get a chance to actually play basketball. Usually I'm just watching because these guys don't pass, the other dudes don't pass the ball. So usually I'm just watching or playing defense. That's the only thing I get the opportunity to play. But I was playing with Ant and his crew yesterday. Um, those two guys don't even play basketball. And shit, two of the dudes they play basketball, but they not basketball players. Got to play some actual real basketball with some niggas that don't even consider themselves basketball players. My niggas need to be ashamed of themselves. Oh, I just want to take up time to tell y'all this shit too. So funny thing happened. So we playing basketball, right? So some kid, right? He just some kid. Like he don't like me. You know how you got niggas that don't like you, but they act like they like you, but they really don't like you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? But they want to talk shit about you to other people. So they want other people to see you like being cool with them. And they go to other people like, yo, fuck this nigga. Y'all be trusting niggas like that, fam? First thing I want to say, y'all be trusting people like that, fam? Like you trust people like that? Like even if you don't like the person that they're doing that to, like you trust people like that, fam? Like that sounds like some of the most untrustworthy shit I've anyway. So he goes into the park and so they we playing basketball. So he's trying to like, nah, I guess mock me or some shit. Because when I play with them, they don't pass the ball. They just want me to run back and forth and don't never get the ball so they can laugh. But I won't do that. So the nigga was like trying to like mock me and shit and was like, yo, y'all don't pass the ball. I'm better than everybody over here. So Ant was like, Ant going to play college basketball. He about, I don't know, 6'4", some shit like that. He's dunking it easy. His Jimmy is on, he shoot like he could play, he could ball for real. So the dude that's doing all of this talking, he like 5'2". I don't know. He like 5'2", fam. He quick. He could score. He an alright player. But you know what I'm saying. So he was like, "You talking about me? You talking about you better than me?" So he's like still talking shit. He's like, "I'm better than everybody in the park," like trying to mock me. And then he points at me and he's like, "Yo, you better than him or you better than him?" And the reason why I'm saying this is The nigga tried to do some weird shit and it backfired because everybody looking at him like he a weirdo while he trying to do some weird shit. While he was looking at him like he was a weirdo. And I'm standing there. And I'm like, man, guess you wanted me to like get angry and get upset. I did. I'm standing there and I'm watching. I was like, shout out to Ant. Because you're not better than neither one of us. I ain't want to say it though. But shout out to Ant. He's like y'all be trusting niggas like that, fam? Niggas that use that like act like they cool with one person just to go over to you and then talk shit about that person. Like y'all be trusting people like that? Like ain't that the number one people that your mother told you don't trust? Tell me where the lie at. That's like the number one person that your mother say don't trust. Your grandmoms told you about those people. You reckon the guy, David Gersh guy, is telling the truth about the aliens thing. All right, let's discuss this. Shout out to Everything Blue. Okay, so let's say an angel came to Earth and it didn't look like a human. What do you think we would call it? Let's say angels don't fly with telekinesis. That's basically what flight is in comic books and shit like that. When you see like Superman and he just flying, that's a form of telekinesis, man. He's just able to use it on his. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, angels. Let's just say angels exist, and let's say they don't necessarily use telekinesis, but they travel in something that they consider to be chariots, right? I think angels exist, obviously, but you understand what I'm saying. So I think that if Earthlings found angels, they would consider them to be aliens, right? By definition, they would be aliens actually, because they would be foreign. As far as we are concerned, it would be foreign to Earth, right? So do I think the government might have contact with angels and maybe have apparatuses that they use to traverse from one place to another? Yeah, I think that's possible. That's why it always kills me when people say they don't believe in aliens. I'm like, you don't believe in angels? Like, okay, you don't believe in angels, so I can understand why you don't believe in aliens. But you believe in God, you believe in Satan, but you don't believe in aliens. You don't believe that there could be a race of or a beings that don't necessarily inhabit our Earth, that can come here and leave here. Then how can you believe in heaven? How can you believe in hell? How can you believe in the Bible? If you don't believe in the Bible, you don't believe in heaven, you don't believe in hell, and then you don't believe in that. I'm like, okay, you're consistent. But if you believe in the Bible, you believe in heaven, you believe in hell, but you don't believe that they can quite possibly have captured some angels, which they might consider to be aliens, which would be by definition an alien. How could you not? Do you reckon aliens come in peace or they're here to cause havoc? Well, I think angels come to do God's word. I don't know what they have. I'm just explaining to you that we don't know what they have. You just asked me, was there a possibility that you think they might have them? Yeah, if I don't see no reason why, I don't see how it's an impossibility. I believe in angels. I think angels might be able to, if angels exist, why wouldn't they be able to come to Earth? If angels exist, why wouldn't they come to Earth frequently? And then I hear about how there's animals that can see spectrums of light that we can't see. I was gonna get some coffee and take a big long gulp, but I'm done. The coffee's over. I should go make me a tiny bit more. So yeah, there's animals that can see spectrums of light that we can't see. Allegedly, if you listen to the scientists. And so the real question is, just so we can be clear, how can they know that they can see a spectrum? How do you know that it's a spectrum of light? We can't see it. You don't know what it is. So just whenever you use critical thought, whenever you use critical thought. Also, in the Bible it says don't pay attention to the rumors of wars and stuff like that they're going to be talking about nowadays in the times, if this is the end of times. So that's not even something we should be concerned with. Be honest with you. So I mean, I'll talk about it because we could talk about it and discuss it, but that's about as much as I can talk about it. What do you think about it? We're not supposed to even be concerned with that specific thing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this is what our program is for. So yes, we can discuss it. What is your opinion on it? How do you feel about it? Do you think he was telling the truth? Do you think any of us will ever know? If he was telling the truth, why wouldn't the aliens that they don't have captured come out and say that we're here? Why is the sky always foggy? My fault. Sometimes I don't think nobody got that joke, but personally, I hope it's true and they make a huge introduction. I believe I can't wait for the Lord to come back to the earth and His will be done. So that's the context I'm speaking about it in. Because remember, if there's angels, that means that there's fallen angels. And if there's fallen angels, guess where the fallen angels have been the whole entire time? Anybody want to guess? If there's angels, that means that there's fallen angels. And if there's fallen angels, guess where the angels, the fallen angels, have been this whole entire time? I'm going to go warm me up a little bit of water while y'all think about that. Put it in the chat if you can figure it out. If you believe in such a thing, if you were to read the Bible, fallen angels have been on earth and have been on earth this whole entire time. Just you be clear. As far as I know. If I'm wrong about that, put it in the chat and tell me what I can go read to actually, I did this finger first just so we be clear. And what I can go read to be fully informed of this in the Bible. But yeah, so fallen angels here on earth. If you believe in that type of thing. And if they have aliens, who do you think the aliens are? Now just imagine if the fallen angels have been having a fight with regular earth. Yo, man. I mean, I was just going off on it. I was gonna go off and think about some dope ass shit that should have been a TV show. I'm trying to stop myself right now. I'm tired of giving away good ideas. What up, J Mac? Yeah, I'm tired of giving away good ideas. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Oh shit, my flower's open. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. He was like, look, man, I wasn't gonna comment, but I gotta help you out. Listen to see if the water was boiling. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I'm not one of these people. Imagine, I don't even want to get into it, but I don't think the world and earth and all of this shit is what they tell us it is. That's it. I just don't think it is. Copy. Remember, the winner of the war writes history. Hopefully Stargate SG-1 comes true. How was you basically writing the same thing that I was basically thinking about and talking? Right when yeah, I think we melded. We have a whole brain meld. Do I think it's flat? I have no idea what it is. I don't have an opinion on whether it's flat or whether it's a sphere. I have no opinion on that. You reckon there's other human life form in another universe? I just don't think everything is what they tell us it is. Okay, so we only went to the moon one time. So we have the ability to go to the moon in 1960, but we don't got the ability to go to the moon now. I'm gonna go get my water. Oh man. So I've been loving, I hope this stuff don't cause cancer. So I've been loving this specific International Delight coffee creamer. I have been loving this shit, right? Pardon my language. This stuff right here. I'm telling you right now, get it, especially if you like hot chocolate. I bought that and regular vanilla. I opened the regular vanilla one. I made 1 cup of coffee with it, and then I haven't even used it again. I need to go back to the store now and get more of that specific one because all I got almost now is the regular vanilla. That shit's banging. Anyway, yeah. So, I just don't think everything is what they tell us it is. That's all. I'm not saying I know what it is. Tori Mosley said it's good they don't tell us people will go crazy if they knew the truth about Earth and space. I think whatever the truth is, we knew it at one time. I think whatever the truth is, we knew it at one time. I don't think we've always been ignorant to whatever the truth is. Like even if the truth is what they tell us it is. But I'm just saying, so we could go to the moon in the 1960, but we haven't been able to get to the moon since. I need you to explain this to me. You're trying to tell me in the world that we currently live in, one of our freaking governments wouldn't already have a fucking moon base where they'd be shooting video back to this. They shooting video from fucking Mars apparently, but they don't have a fucking moon base on the moon. I don't got time for that. I'm just saying. I don't know. I just don't trust everything these guys tell us. I don't know what to tell you, fam. I don't trust everything these guys tell us. I think we accept so many lies, or we accept so many deceptions that we look at the world eschewed often. You know, what if there was proof of an afterlife, right? Actual physical proof, actual physical evidence, right? Would that change the behavior? Would that change the way people conducted themselves? Because if you have actual physical proof and physical evidence, you don't need faith. And the main thing that is being tested is our faith. Correct? Anyway, this neither here nor there. Everything Blue says, I think we've been on the moon 6 times after Apollo 11, 1969, 12 walks on the surface, 24 all-American visits. Okay, so why are they not on the moon with a space station? My point still stands. I hear about you saying we've been on the moon all of those times, but do we have the video footage like that first time? Because I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not a thing. Have you seen the video footage? I haven't seen it. More importantly, why don't they have a station on the moon? If you can send a whole spaceship to Mars, but you can't send a space station to the moon, you're saying that we have, just so we could be clear, they're saying we're not the only people in the universe, but they're not going to put a space station on the moon that would give us the ability to quite possibly be able to defend our planet. But they can fly everywhere else. They can send freaking little fucking ships with cameras on it to like Jupiter. That's the one that's the Jupiter's the one that's just the gas, right? They can do shit like that, but they can't put. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just on some real shit. Pay attention. So I don't trust it. Does anybody else remember when the Challenger exploded? I remember when the Challenger exploded. Anybody else remember when the Challenger exploded? Because that shit was all over television, fam. We watched the shit. Did we watch it live in class? We might have watched that shit live in class. I don't remember. But do y'all remember when the Challenger exploded? Just saying. I was. Not the point I was making, but yeah, sure. Anyway, what else y'all want to talk about? I don't really care for this. I don't really care for this because this is just an opinion conversation about conspiracy theories. I don't really care for this. But we live in a sphere, a planet orbiting the sun, but we have places on the planet that the sun won't set over very, very long periods of time. That does not make sense. I'm going to say that again. We live on a planet that's orbiting the sun, but yet we have places on the planet that at times the sun won't set for large periods of time. That doesn't make sense. I got Spence, but because I'm a Spence fan more than I don't think Crawford could do it. I think it's going to be a good fight. It could go either way. It's going to be a good fight. It could go either way. But I got Spence because I'm a Spence fan. I like Spence. I just don't think we know. That's the only point I'm trying to make. I just don't think we know. That's it. I just don't think we know. Like, you're asking me questions that I don't really have a factual answer for. Karen Lill says, no hand shall go behind the firmament. Project Fishbowl was conducted. There's things. I mean, you could have that conversation with Homeboy if you want in the chat, man. I just think there's things that we don't know. That's all I'm saying. So they take, pay attention to this. They take rich people on trips to the edge of our atmosphere. So they take rich people on trips to the edge of our atmosphere. And they take rich people on trips to the bottom of the sea. Just saying. I'm not just, just saying things. Accept it how you want to accept it. Mitch McConnell froze at the podium. Could we do a thing and stop electing people that's turning into dust before our eyes? Y'all keep electing these individuals or have these individuals in office that's so old when we don't see them on camera, they're usually sitting in a wheelchair. Can we stop electing these type of people? I think he had a seizure also. I think he had a mild seizure or a mild stroke. Seizure or stroke? What am I thinking? Because you can have mild strokes, right? Is that the thing I'm thinking about? No, it's a mild stroke. It's a stroke, not a seizure. It's a mild stroke. You freeze. You can't move. Could we stop electing these people, fam? We electing people that got the pins on. Why? How? We electing people that somebody got to put their legs up in the air like this and change their diapers. This is who we electing, fam. How? We electing people that while they're sleeping, somebody got to hold the mirror over their nose every couple of hours to make sure they still breathing. How? How are we electing these guys? Please, let's start electing younger people with all due respect. I have a whole bunch more jokes, by the way. But let's start electing younger people with all due respect. We electing people that got to eat all of their food through a blender. This don't make sense, fam. We electing people that got to postpone the freaking State of the Union because it's bingo night. Like, what's going on? I'm just saying, we got to start electing younger people, fam. Because we start electing people who are around the 50-year-old mark, 40s, 50s. Could we start electing people in their 40s, 50s, late 30s? Could we start electing them to positions? People that know the problems, that's just trying to fight the problems that we have today. We're electing people that's trying to fight the problems we had in 1970, fam. Those problems are already metastasized and turned into something else. We can't keep fighting those problems. Now the problem is the same problem, but it's a different problem. We got to fight that different problem that is the same problem. Not try to fight the same problem that's now a different problem. So when we're fighting the same problem, the different problem is being ignored. We got to do something about that. The only way we're going to do that is we got to stop voting these people into the damn presidency and into all these other positions of power that they remember when, there was talkies. So we got to stop thinking just because somebody is old, they know better. There's a lot of people that's old, they don't know better, fam. They survived by accident. I don't know what to tell you. Some people are just too evil to die. These might be the people y'all elected. People that's too evil to die. Satan is like, you are a good worker. Those might be the people we keep electing. People that's too evil to die, fam. If you could just see how stupid that kid looked at the park the other day. He was trying to get people to laugh at me or whatever the case is. And people just looking at him like. And then niggas started speaking up in my defense. I was just like, I ain't gonna say nothing for him because anything I say is gonna be a problem. So I ain't saying nothing. I just stood there, let him act crazy. Everybody looking at him like you lame, fam. You're just being lame for no reason. You're being lame for no reason. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What y'all think about the Hassan Campbell comments made about Gilly the Kid's situation? First of all, R.I.P. to Cheese. My condolences go out to the friends, families, fans of the young man. I'm pretty sure he was a big part of his family and community, and he's going to be missed. What do y'all guys think about Hassan Campbell's reactions? I was talking to somebody yesterday, so I think Hassan Campbell is in when things like this happen. Sometimes he's in an unfavorable position, and the reason why I say this is because if he don't say anything immediately, people are gonna say that he's not keeping it real. He's well, every time something happened in somebody else's situation, you come. So he has to continuously say the same exact thing every time something happened, right? And I want to say something. This is not to be disrespectful towards him. I fuck with Hassan. I want to say something. There's nothing wrong with growth. There's nothing wrong with being this way and then seeing that there could be an improvement made, exercising that improvement, and now you're this way. You're the same person, you have the same mission, you're trying to accomplish the same things, you're just getting rid of the things that don't serve you, and you're collecting the things that are of value. So I say all that to say this. I would love for when there is nothing that is of a topic to be going up for him to be speaking this way. That if he decides to have a conversation where he speaks about why there needs to be a little bit more growth in this particular topic or conversation that he has. Because there's no reason to, and I'm not saying that he did, I'm just saying that this is a position that some people could take. There's no reason to victimize the people who are left behind from these individuals that get their life taken from the ministry. I saw that he posted trying to defend his position. Interview that Cheese had where he says they always move with security. So I just want to contextualize or what I believe what was going on in that interview. He was having an interview because at that moment they were out doing, they were working. He's not saying that he got security with him when he go to the corner store. He's not saying he got security with him when he go, I don't know, do his laundry. If he does, I don't know who does the laundry. He's not saying that he has security with him when he, every time he goes to Walmart. You know how expensive that would be? He's not Bill Gates, man. He's saying that when he's working and when he's going to these places that are not deemed safe, they make sure that they have enough people with them that know what their job is, that's there to work and do their job, which is security. I think that when Hassan posted that, I don't think it was, I think it was out of context. That's just my opinion. So I think sometimes when we are echoing a position that we previously had, that we do have, and that we continue to have, and that we were wanting to encourage, I think that we have to also understand that that same message, it needs to transmogrify. It needs to change. It needs to fit the circumstance that we're speaking about it in. Sometimes, we shouldn't try to stuff the star into the square peg, the square peg into the round hole. And I think that that's what he was trying to do, because what he usually does is the square peg. But this situation might have been a round hole. I don't think he means any harm. I don't think he intends any disrespect in these situations. I think that he's just so trying to make sure he's consistent with what his message is. Um, and I think sometimes when you don't give it a day or two before you put out your comments, your message could get lost. And I think for the people who might be feeling like he's speaking out of turn, his message might actually be lost. Whereas what his message is that these kids is out here and they don't have no church. There's no church in the wild, fam. I think that he could have just waited to deliver that message. And one thing that, and I've always said this, as y'all know, one thing that I think that he suffers from is not having a co-host, not having somebody else when he's speaking to go back and forth with, because that helps you be able to paint your picture. That helps you be able to describe, present your position. When you have somebody that you can have that has actual, that's having a conversation with you, not somebody that's waiting to talk. If you have somebody that's just waiting to talk, then that's a waste of fucking time. But if you have somebody that's actually having a conversation with you, they're listening to the things that you're saying and they're responding accordingly, that I think would really benefit not just what he does over there, but that would benefit his platform and everything that he does over there. But that would benefit most of us. I don't think he should make anybody be anything. I think that just bring on a co-host. I've had a good co-host. I've had an okay co-host. I understand that you just don't co-host with everyone, especially if you're talented. There has to be an energy there. Like, you should go hang out with a person a little and see if you can unwind around them. If you can't feel comfortable around a person, then you shouldn't host with them. Period. Because it's just not going to be there. It's going to, it's not, the chemistry isn't going to be there. So it's better to like the person that you're talking to, in contrast with, this guy's a whole douchebag, so he is. And the camera's turning on, and you're like, we the best of friends, best of friends. Like, that doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? Boom. Yeah, for the individual that is harassing me currently that I'm kicking out, go send whatever you want to whoever, fam. Remember, these people see me every day, fam. Whoever is the person that you're sending it to and by, you just discrediting them and making them look like they don't have no integrity and that they're bad people. All these people see me every day for years at this point. So send it. These people see me every day, fam, for years. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. People see me every day for years, man. I don't even want to hang out with people that I don't necessarily respect. Like, I'm gonna say something real quick, and this is not to knock nobody. So I go to play basketball yesterday. All the dudes is at the courts that I don't feel comfortable playing with. They trying to play. I just told them I don't want to play. Not mad at you. I don't dislike none of you niggas. I just don't want to play. That's it. Then this dude show up that I guess is the guy that they got running around trying to show people videos of me or whatever. There's probably like 2 or 3 of those guys around here. I don't have the slightest idea. So one of the dudes that I think is one of those guys show up at the park, right? Little short dude. So he show up at the park. So now they like, yo, you want to play? And I'm still saying, no, I don't want to play. And then when they ask me why, I tell them. And then like, how you going to get mad at me? Because I don't want to play with you, fam. I don't want to play. I don't want to be on none of you niggas' teams. I don't like the way that y'all guys play. Niggas got mad at me. Niggas was really pissed off at me. Like, what the fuck, fam? Like, I don't got no obligation to play with y'all. Y'all don't got no obligation to play with me. I'll come to the park when ain't nobody here and be just fine. You got me fucked up, man. You think I need to be? Nah, I go to the park when nobody there. That's what I used to do. I'll be just fine. I'll be fine. I get to practice my moves one-on-one by myself and master them shits. I'll be just fine. Shit. I thought up like 4 new counters over the last couple of months that I've been working on. I go master them shits. I don't care. That's the fun part of sports. Like, the fun part of basketball to me is literally just practicing my moves one-on-one. It's literally the fun part for me. So fine. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What do you think I try to teach the kids? Work out on your own. When you learn to love working out on your own, when you learn to love practicing anything on your own, you're going to become a master of it. Anything you love practicing when nobody's around, anything you love practicing on your own, anything you love doing, you can master it. So find what you love doing and then go practice that shit on your own and come back. So, nah, I'm fine. You're going to make everybody not want to play basketball with me? Fine. So that means that when I go to the park, I don't have to worry about anybody wanting to be on the side I'm on? Fine. It is what it is. What y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What time we got? What y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. You got me fucked up. I don't know what to tell you. Shout out to RG with the $5 drop. It says further action is required to accept this cash. Okay, I gotta go press a button. Be right back. I'll be right back. I gotta go press a button.